PNR Networks is a member of Patreon. Show your love for our shows by joining our ongoing fundraising campaign and get some fantastic perks in return. Check it out and become a Patreon sponsor. You can sign up at patreon.com, patreon.com/PNR Networks. And thanks for your support.
She just goes a little mad sometimes.
Do you ever feel like you're normal and the rest of the world has lost its collective mind?
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
Do you find people saying this to you a lot?
Are you totally deranged?
Are you looking for a looking glass to pass through?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Or looking for a rabbit hole to fall down?
Who could think of a better punishment, really? Everything's the same here. It's just a little worse.
Guess what?
Life's a bitch. Now so am I.
You found it. Welcome to Platinum Rose's Garden.
Hello, my darlings. This is Platinum Rose Lady welcoming you to Platinum Rose's Garden on Monday, May 28th, 2018. Before we get started, I feel like I need to take a moment out of before we get to the important part of the show. This is also important, but I feel like I need to get it done first. Today, as I'm recording this, is Memorial Day here in America. And Memorial Day for a lot of people is the unofficial kickoff of summer. You know, it's barbecues and beach days and, you know, time spent. You have a day off from work, you know, some people, and we're celebrating and stuff like that. And that's all fun, and it's great to hang out with your family and friends and stuff like that. But it's called Memorial Day for a reason. Memorial Day is a day where we are supposed to put aside, you know, a moment or two and say thank you to the people who are no longer on this plane of existence and who have given the ultimate gift and made the ultimate sacrifice in the act of protecting the rest of us who live in this country and make us safe from terrorism and tyranny and give us the right to be free. So to those who have served in our armed forces and have paid the ultimate price, from the bottom of my heart to wherever your spirit is in the universe or beyond, thank you for your sacrifice for all of us. It's just a very simple message. Freedom isn't free. Freedom is paid for in sweat and blood and pain and the loss of a mother's son, a wife's husband, a husband's wife, a father, a mother, a friend. Somebody didn't come home so that you can go to bed tonight and be safe. And I'm not trying to bring anybody down or anything like that, but that's the truth. That's what Memorial Day is about. It's about saying thank you to the people that paid the greatest price that you can pay so that we can be free. And to all those who are still serving in our military, wherever you are, here or abroad, thank you for your service as well. And if you are someplace where it's dangerous, please be careful and please come home when you can, because you've done a great job. So, I know some people are probably like, what the hell is she still on the internet for? The season's over. Yes, it is. Season 13 is now behind us. And some of us have finally recovered. Thank you for asking. We're finally over our hangover. No. We don't hide inside bottles of alcohol because we're upset and devastated by the way season 13 ended. We don't do that. Anymore. No, we never did that. We had enough of that growing up. Thank you. And we are also now going to stop using the royal we. Anyway, I loved the end of season 13. in I loved as in I'm picking up pieces of my heart and sobbing, and I loved it in the way I loved Avengers Infinity War. It was like, it was really awesome, but holy shit, I'm now fucking destroyed. I think I have cried more this year at movies and TV than more in this year than I can actually ever remember. It's ridiculous. On the whole, if you were going to ask me, I would give season 13 of Supernatural, I would give it 5 bouquets out of 5. I thought it was a terrific season. I thought there were a lot of really nice touches and some great characters that were brought in, and some characters that we said goodbye to, one of whom I won't miss, looking at you, Lucifer. I will miss Mark Pellegrino. I mean, I will miss Mark very much, because Mark is a terrific actor and plays an amazing Lucifer. But if Lucifer is really dead, really honest and for true, dead and gone, good. Lucifer tortured Sam. Lucifer made Sam scared. Anybody who makes Sam scared and makes Sam upset is on Kim's list of people whose asses need to get kicked. And so, sorry, Mark. Well, no. Mark's not the problem. Mark is a wonderful person, and I'm sure he's good to small animals and kind to his mother and all of that stuff. That's called CYA, children, for those of you who don't know. Beginning the season with Lost and Found and ending the season with Let the Good Times Roll and everything in between, which was a lot of craziness and a lot of amazing episodes. Obviously the biggest character arc I think that we have to talk about is the arc of Jack Klein, who we saw a very tiny part of at the end of season 12, and found more about at the beginning of season 13. Jack being the son of Kelly Klein and Lucifer, a Nephilim whose birth opens a rift between universes. Jack, who is born and apparently ages from being an infant into a teenager, or at least a young man, in a space of seconds, because when Sam comes running in to the nursery at the end of season 12, Jack's in a corner looking at him with these glowing golden eyes, and it was very disturbing. We watched Jack grow as a character throughout the season, and I have to be very, very honest that Jack has awakened in me feelings that I have very rarely felt in my life, ever. Jack played absolutely beautifully by Alexander Calvert, who is now one of my new favoriteest actors in the whole wide world. Jack evoked in me a maternal instinct that I have never felt one as powerful as I have with Jack. Because certain people, if they were being honest with themselves, and I think everybody needs to be honest with themselves if you're not going to be honest with everybody else, certain people need to be honest with themselves and say, I wouldn't make a good parent. It's not because someone's a bad person, it's simply because someone doesn't have the patience to be a parent for whatever reason. They're too hot-headed, they're too nervous, they're too smothering, they're too, irresponsible, whatever. There could be 900 reasons why you're not a good parent. And you need to tell yourself for whatever reason that that's not something that you're cut out for, even though there are certain sections of society that make you feel like if you don't want to be a parent, you're a bad person, you're a failure as a woman, blah, 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 and that does exist, and don't tell me it doesn't, because I've dealt with it firsthand and had shit like that said to me, to my face. So, for Jack to come along as a character, my first reaction with this kid was like, I want to be there for him and be a strong female figure in his life. If that kid was around me, I would definitely be like, come here, hold my hand, everything's gonna be okay, nobody's gonna hurt you, and I will fuck up anyone who does. You know, and it's a very weird feeling to feel that way, because most of my life I have not felt that way. It's not that I don't like children. I do like children. Kids are great. Kids are fantastic. They're imaginative and exciting and fun, and they see the world through beautiful, innocent eyes, and that's fantastic. It's just also my simple fact is that they're small. You know, they're small, little, fragile people, and that freaks me out. And I'm like, okay. You know, I've just never had that feeling like, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful to be a mom? You know, I've just never had that. But Jack evoked that in me simply because I was like, this kid is alone. I mean, he's not really alone. He wasn't really alone. He always had Castiel, and he always had Sam, and eventually he had Dean, because let's be perfectly honest. And I realized that a whole bunch of Dean girls just went, what the fuck did you just say? I'm not saying that. No, I am saying that. There were more occasions where Dean was more wary of Jack than there were where Sam was wary of Jack. And we all know why that is. Because in a lot of ways you could draw a lot of parallels between Sam and Jack. You know, you had the whole fact that Jack felt like certain people made him feel like he could never be good. And Sam has obviously felt the same way. Sam brought that up about himself. He mentioned that several times. He's actually, mentioned feeling like he never felt like he was clean. And that broke my heart. Maybe, I don't know so much if I want to say it was a maternal thing with Jack, the way I felt about him. It was more like I would want to be the person that would show him what it would be like to have fun and be a cool aunt. Be that aunt that takes you out and gets you wired on candy and, buys you cool stuff and stuff like that. That's me. That's who I am. I'm the aunt that takes you to see action movies and stuff like that. That's who I am. But I felt like Jack was just this sweet, precious, and I don't mean precious as in a cloying way. He was just this innocent, good-natured child. And Jack's whole existence obviously brings up the whole, and it ran through a lot of the series, I think, the season, the whole nature versus nurture argument. And that's obviously a very big thing that we can't encompass all of that here. But you guys all know what that is. You're a smart bunch. The whole idea of what kind of a person you are and what kind of a person you grow up to be, is that determined by, the environment that you're born into, or is that determined by the way you are raised? It's the whole idea that if somebody is the daughter or son of a person that was a criminal, are they going to grow up and be a criminal? Now, obviously there are some people that take the attitude, well, yes, if your parents were bad people, you're going to be a bad person too. Now, now that's the nature aspect of it. The nurture aspect of it is, now if you have a person that's had two parents who were criminals, but they weren't raised in a criminal atmosphere, and they were raised by people that were, decent, hardworking, honest people, and that person whose parents were both criminals grew up to be a person that was, hardworking and good-hearted and kind and stuff like that, then you've got the whole nature thing thrown out the window, because some people would be like, well, they're predetermined to be bad, but because they were nurtured and brought up in a good way, they turned out to be a kind person. Now, when you look at the fact that you have Jack, whose mother was a human, And from the look of things and the way things seemed, Kelly Klein was a very nice person. She didn't seem to be a very bad person. And she was obviously desperately trying to be a good mother for the child that she knew his birth was going to kill her. She knew that when he was born, just the energy of him being born was going to kill her. And she never seemed to think like, I have to save myself and terminate this baby. Her whole thing was that I'm going to live, I'm going to let my baby live even if this kills me. And that's an enormous act of unselfishness. I mean, that is incredible unselfishness, and it's an enormous power of love. It's an incredibly loving statement. So obviously Kelly was a person with a lot of love in her heart. And you look at the fact that this was Jack's mother and that Jack's father is Lucifer. Mic drop. That's it. You really can't go anywhere in the direction of the opposite of love. You can't get any further than Lucifer. Lucifer loves no one. Other than himself, Lucifer loves no one and has absolutely no love for humanity. So you have a child that's born of human and the fallen one, the enemy of mankind, the corrupter, the deceiver, and all that stuff like that. And then you wind up with this adorable, sweet-natured young man that loves nougat and Star Wars and is just this good person that wants to do good and help people. I mean, the whole scene at the end of, the whole scene during the last episode of the season, Let the Good Times Roll, when we see Jack in the forest literally beating himself up, hitting himself in the chest and thinking of times where he's used his powers and shit's gone wrong, that just, it broke my heart. I mean, it broke my heart in half. This poor, sweet, misguided child. I mean, it killed me. It absolutely killed me. And I think that Alexander's portrayal of Jack has been a real boon and a real amazing addition to the Supernatural family. I think it's been I wouldn't say a boost, because Supernatural didn't need a boost, but it's definitely been something that's been added to the tapestry of the show, and it's been a big blessing and a big addition that's really wonderful and just fantastic. Other characters that we had this season that will not be seen next season, as far as I know, would include Asmodeus, or Asmodeus, or however you say it, the Knight of Hell that was one of the big bads of most of the season. Just an incredibly awesome, unbelievably evil character that was really, really brought a lot to the table. Definitely became a major threat to the Winchesters, and was just absolutely incredibly well done by Jeffrey Vincent Parise. I think he was a fantastic character, truly frightening and elegant as well. Really somebody that was really special and scary as hell. We got some other characters back this season that I didn't think we were getting back, including Rowena. Rowena came back in the episode Various and Sundry Villains. So that was really amazing and awesome to have her back. I was really happy with what they did with Rowena this season. I'm always happy when Rowena's back anyway, because she's just incredible. Ruth Connell is such a wonderful actress and an amazing part of the show. I liked the back and forth that happened between Rowena and Sam, because they shared something that she and Sam shared this whole thing, the fact that they both have, I mean, everybody fears Lucifer because, hello, he's Lucifer, but they both have this special, I guess bond would be the right word. I suppose that would be okay to use. I guess we're going to use that. That's okay. That they've both seen Lucifer's true face, and they both know the extent of the amount of pain Lucifer is willing to dish out to people he's pissed at. And I think the fact that they do share that, and the fact that Sam is willing to extend a little more to her in the way of kindness because of that, a little more empathy. Of course, Sam being, a very empathic person anyway, because he's just Sam and he's awesome. #loyal Samazon. I love that about, that kind of made the characters even more real. Rowena's whole attitude about finding out about the death of Crowley, I was like, okay, wow. I guess it's like it was okay when you tried to have your son killed, but somebody else kills your son and now you're all pissed off? Or, I mean, I don't know. It makes me kind of wonder if she really thought that Castiel wouldn't be able to go through with killing Crowley in the first place. Back in, at the beginning of season 11. I don't know. But that was actually really amazing and well shot. Gabriel came back, which was definitely one of those, what? Oh my, I won't say that, but saying oh my god there seemed really inappropriate, so I won't. But just seeing Gabriel again in, coming, it was just like, what the, it really was kind of an oh my god moment, but I mean, I don't know how else I don't want to use that, but I have to. I can't help it. It was just disturbing and really frightening, and I mean, it was not seeing Gabriel. That was awesome in a, oh no, it's like he's been where? He's been what? Are you shitting me? That, Gabriel was captured and held for so long by Asmodeus. And, the first time we see him, he's in this cell, he's all filthy and his mouth is sewn shut. And it's just like, I'm sorry. I have this joke on my Twitter page, and I've actually brought it up in a couple of fanfic author notes, and I am joking about it, bringing up that I'm pretty sure that my dad was a trickster, my biological dad and stuff. And it's really stupid because in that episode when Gabriel looks up and, his lips are sewn shut and he's filthy and covered in rags and stuff like that. I swear, that is the only thing that went through my mind was, Dad? It's like, stupid. I know it's stupid. It's silly. That was episode 13, Devil's Bargain, by the way. Which was like I said, there were so many really great episodes this season. If I had to actually choose an episode, I honestly don't know which was my favorite episode of the season. There were so many that I enjoyed for so many different reasons. If you asked me which one I liked the best, I honestly don't think I could tell you. I think Let the Good Times Roll affected me the most, simply because of the whole scene where Lucifer is telling Sam and Jack that one of them has to kill the other, or he's going to do a Thanos and wipe out the universe and all this shit. And Sam picks up the knife And I'm just sitting there going, no. And then he holds the knife out to Jack and tells Jack to kill him. And then Jack starts to stab himself. And by this point, I am a complete fucking wreck. We're talking end of The Last Jedi wreck. And for those of you who know how big of a warzy I am, you know how much of a wreck I was at the end of that, locked in the bathroom and crying for an hour. But obviously the end of Let the Good Times Roll, where Dean has said yes to the Apocalypse World version of Michael, and Michael lets Dean kill, well, actually, I'm not sure if that's Michael or Dean at that point, but Lucifer winds up dead at the end of it, and then we get this whole moment where everything's okay for just 1 second, everything's perfect, and then Michael reneges on the deal and takes over Dean's body and then just disappears, and we see him later on walking down a street in clothes that Dean would never wear, and his eyes flash and the episode ends, and I'm like, anybody wants me? I'll be in the liquor cabinet. Don't wait up. No, I can't. That's a joke. Don't drink away your pain. That's not a good idea. It's never as glamorous as Sam and Dean make it look. The one episode that everybody obviously, now the thing is, episode 16, Scooby Natural, I will be perfectly honest, I won't use the word dreading Scooby Natural. I don't want to say that because I wasn't dreading Scooby Natural. I was concerned. I was concerned about Scooby Natural. I wasn't concerned about the artwork. We'd already seen the artwork. We'd seen stills, and I was like, okay, the art's good. I'm very picky about animation. I admit that. I wouldn't go as far as to call myself an animation snob. I'm close. I'm sorry. I mean, I am more of an anime person myself, old school classic anime Gatchaman kind of stuff. But look it up. But I was concerned about Scooby Natural for a number of different reasons. My biggest reason about being concerned, and this is going to sound weird. This is going to sound very, very weird. And I know coming from me, you're all going, big fucking deal. Like, that's a fucking surprise. But there was so much press around Scooby Natural and so much media scrutiny about the episode before it aired and all this talk about it and stuff like that, that I was like, wow, this is going to make a lot of people watch that episode. A lot of people who don't usually watch Supernatural are probably going to watch this episode. And on one hand, I was telling myself, oh wow, that's going to be cool, because a lot of people are going to get into the show by watching this episode and seeing how cool and amazing this show is. But at the same time, I was also like, okay, so a whole bunch of people start watching the show or watch the show because of this episode. What's going to happen next week when it goes back to being the usual Supernatural, which is always awesome and amazing as far as I'm concerned, but these, you have a whole bunch of people maybe expecting one thing and being like, what the hell? I was worried it was going to hurt the show. I didn't want people, it kind of irritated me, to be perfectly honest. All of the press and all of the notice really fucking bothered me. Because I kind of felt like this show has been here for 13 fucking seasons and you assholes are just getting around to noticing it now? That's what bothered me. I could sit here and make a list of this scene should have won Jensen Ackles an Emmy, this scene should have won Jared Padalecki an Emmy, this scene should have won Misha Collins an Emmy, supporting actor here, blah blah here, so on, so forth, etc., 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 all the way down the list, and I'd have a piece of paper that ended spooled up around my ankle somewhere on the floor. You know, it would be that long. But it takes an episode where they're having a crossover with a cartoon dog before the mainstream media finally gets off their fucking ass and notices this show. You know, that bothered me. I'm sorry. I realize that may be, I don't know how to word this. That may sound ungrateful, and that may make me sound like I'm being incredibly thin-skinned, defensive, being just an all-around pain in the ass. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's just me. Fuck it. I don't know. Because it's Supernatural, of course, we wound up losing characters that we cared about. Some of them we lost to death. Some of them we lost to stuff worse than death. Yes, there are things that are worse. One of them being the prophet Donatello, who came back, wound up being an unwilling and, what's the word I want? Unwilling, and actually I don't think he even realized it, at first, spy for Asmodeus, who had used a spell on him. And when, Castiel tried to get information from him, working with the demon tablet, turns out working with the demon tablet and not having a soul, yeah, that doesn't work out really well for somebody, because Donatello winds up turning on the Winchesters, and when Castiel goes into his head to get information, he winds up, Donatello winds up brain dead, and he is, only being kept alive through machinery. So, there's, like I said, obviously there are things worse than being dead, like being a vegetable. And it was nice to have Donatello back until he became a hindrance to the Winchesters and, Castiel. It was really cool to see, Keith Zarabajka back, and I hope I said your last name even remotely correct, sir. I'm sure I didn't, because I suck at that sometimes, so I'm really sorry if I didn't say your name right. We got to see Missouri Mosley again for a little bit in the episode Patience, which was incredibly awesome because Loretta Devine is amazing. Unfortunately, Missouri didn't make it to the end of the episode, but it did introduce her granddaughter Patience, who is a psychic, and it led into one of the most looked forward to episodes, I think, other than Scooby Natural this past season, episode 10, Wayward Sisters, which was the episode that saw a very special group of ladies helping out with the Winchesters, who are currently stuck in another dimension, which is a very not good place. Said ladies including Sheriff Jody Mills, Sheriff Donald Hascom, Alex Jones, Claire Novak, Patience Turner, and a dreamwalker named Cara Nieves. Unfortunately, Cara, at least our version of Cara, didn't make it to the end of the episode. There was a lot of excitement and joy in the Supernatural universe, fanverse, when it was announced that the CW was looking to make Wayward Sisters a series, and then they decided not to. To my attitude of that is, fuck that. I'm sorry, it would have been a great show, and you guys are making a huge fucking mistake. There is currently a lot of people online and on Twitter and such that are trying to get Netflix to pick up Wayward Sisters, which I think would be very cool. Unfortunately, a lot of people, once it was announced that Wayward Sisters was not going to be picked up by the CW, a lot of people turned around and vented their anger at Supernatural. You had quite a few people saying, "Oh, we're going to organize a boycott of Supernatural." To which I was like, "Why? You're going to get mad at the show and the actors who had nothing to do with the decision, and you want to call yourself Supernatural fans, do me a favor and fuck off. Just seriously. Like I mentioned, Gabriel was back for a while, and it was awesome to see Richard Speight Jr. back as both Gabriel and Loki. That got weird. But Gabriel wound up being killed again, which sucked. I'm going, my heart can't fucking take any more of this, guys. I'm not fucking kidding. Castiel was dead at the end of season 12 and came back in season 13. We found out more about the place where angels and demons go when they die, the big empty, the place called the Empty, and we find out about the beings that live there. I guess we'll go with that. Misha Collins had quite a number of accents to do this season, which was nice. It's always fascinating seeing Misha play other people who seem to be wearing Castiel's face, who are most assuredly not Castiel. It can be fun and disturbing and just really amazing. One character that I really, really want to see again is a person that we met in episode 15, A Most Holy Man. The gentleman was a priest, a Catholic priest named Father Luca Camilleri. I hope I'm even close to that. Who was played by an actor named Masi Furlan. And I really liked Father Camilleri. I would love to see him come back because he's a smart, savvy person. Now he's savvy to the ways of the supernatural. He obviously is a very brave man, and I would like to see him come back. I think it would be awfully cool for Sam and Dean to have an actual priest on their side. There are several questions that, as I mentioned in my last show, that did not get answered at the end of season 23. Obviously, one of the big questions is, has Jack lost his powers for good when Lucifer cut him in the throat and drained part of his drained his powers? Are his powers gone for good? Is his grace completely gone? We don't know. Hopefully we'll find out quickly in season 14. And then there's also the question of what happened to Sister Joe, or AKA Anael. Anael, as it turned out, was an angel who was masquerading as a human faith healer, and she wound up in a relationship, ? With Lucifer, and Lucifer, being Lucifer, turned her away. Finally, she turned on him and wound up leaving a very damaged heaven, whom we know from Naomi, who's not dead. Yay. That heaven is dying, for lack of a better term, which would be a very bad thing. That's all in caps. We didn't see Anael after she left Lucifer's throne room, so we don't know where she is. Probably somewhere hiding, because she seems like she's the ultimate, I'm gonna hide until I can pop my head up and see how things are going and see which side is winning, and that's the side I'm gonna side with. Sister Joe was played by Danielle Ackles, Jensen's beautiful and talented wife, and did an absolutely wonderful and amazing job. As I stated, I really loved this season. I thought it was exciting. I thought parts of it were exciting and funny and scary and amazing. And it just made me glad to be a Supernatural fan all season long, and made me wait, now I can't wait for season 14. I would like to bring up something that does bother me, though. I went online a couple of weeks ago, and about a week and a half ago or so, and brought up something that I've been thinking about for a little bit. Shipping. Now, I am not saying don't ship. I would never say don't ship. I ship all the time. I ship tons of characters. Shipping is fine. Like I said, shipping is great. You can ship, in fanfic, you can ship talking with your friends, you can ship on Twitter, you can ship till your heart's content. What you can't do is demand that your ship, whatever it is, become canon. What you can't do is say, my ship, this is my ship, that's your ship, my ship is better than yours, and your ship sucks, and you're a terrible person. You can't do that. That's a rotten thing to do. Fandom is supposed to be about having fun. Now, a lot of people took what I said and took it in the spirit it was intended. Some people didn't. Some people got really defensive, and I didn't mean to say any specific ship I have a problem with, because I don't. My attitude is, and this is just my attitude, as long as the people in the ship are, in the ship and it's a it's a loving relationship, fine. I don't have a problem with it. There are certain things that if I saw them in the header, and, if I was looking at a fic and I saw in the the pairings was something that I was like, okay, that's making me uncomfortable. You know what I'd do? I wouldn't read the fic. I'd go read something else. What I wouldn't do is write the person who wrote the fic and be like, this is terrible, take it down right now, you're a bad person. I would just be like, I wouldn't even write to the person. I would just be like, okay, well, we're not reading that. Let's go read this thing over here that looks fluffy and wonderful, and the person's actually said tons of fluff in this fic, because I love fluffy fics. I admit it. I don't care. I'm standing up and saying I love fluffy fics. There, I said it. I'm not sorry. I'm not to say I don't like angsty fics every once in a while. I do. Every once in a while you want to read something that gets the old emotions going and hits you right in the feels and stuff like that. But for me personally, there's only so much, angst and wump I can read in one day. Or even a week. I've read some fic that I've been like, I need to go eat an entire cheesecake now. I'm so damn depressed. And that's actually a compliment to the writer, because if somebody writes something that's that deeply moving and emotional, I think that shows they have a lot of skill as a writer. And I've read fic like that. I've read fic that moves me that deeply. But, of course, I'm also the person that cried at the end of King Kong, so I'm very emotional. Live with it. But my point is that, and this goes beyond shipping, this also goes to just fandom in general. If you're a Sam girl, great. If you're a Samazon, fantastic. If you're a Dean girl, if you're a Dean diva, that's wonderful. If you're a Cass girl, I haven't come up with a name for you yet. I'm sorry. I've tried. I came up with Castanet and I was like, I don't like that, but it's all I got. Sorry. But if you love these characters, that's fantastic. If you love the actors, that's great. But you don't have the right to say, I love them, I love this person, you love that person, you suck because you love that person. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That is not cool. Everybody should just be like, you love this person, I love that person, great. Or it could be, you love these people and I love these people, and that's awesome. Let's all remember, we're all supposed to love this show. That's what got us in, that's what helped us to get introduced to these actors, was this show. And before anybody yells at me, I know about, Jared was on Gilmore Girls, and Jensen was on Dark Angel, and, Misha did every episodic thing that was out there. Sorry. 24 and all these other things and stuff. I know. But I'm just saying, what brought all of these people together is this show. And we all should just be like, hey, this is our show, and we love it. And we can all love it for different reasons. And that doesn't make any reason more important, more special, or better than another reason. So quit your bitching. That's all I have to say about that. All I can say is I can't wait for season 14, and I know you guys can't either. So, obviously this is going to be my last show until season 14 in October, whenever it comes out in October. And, but I do hope that if you have any, questions or comments or queries or complaints or want to yell at me or feel I'm completely wrong, platinumroselle@yahoo.com. I hope you will, send me something, send it to PRG in the header, and I'll know you want me to read it, and I will totally do that. If you'd like to go back and listen to any of the episodes I did for this season, you can go listen back to the shows from earlier on in my episode reviews and stuff. And, if you have someone in your life that's just become a Supernatural fan, they want to do a quick catch up, they can listen to my show too. I hope that you will listen to the other shows that are part of our little family. They would include, Subject Cinema, which is our movie podcast, and, Front Row 5 and 10, which is our list show. TC and I have some other shows. I have Ring Around the Rosie, which is my wrestling podcast. TC has Catastrophe, Vortex, his disaster movie program. It is on hiatus right now, but you can go back and listen to some of his earlier stuff. It's really crazy cool. He has 2 mini shows that are looks at what's coming out in the week when it comes to movies and stuff. 3-Minute Weekend and Tuesday Digidex. Comic Grotto from Aunt Bee and Pee-wee is currently on hiatus, but you can go back and listen to earlier shows. You can listen to Cavebabble over at, with Eric and Valerie. They're really great people. And there is also, Manhattan Hammerdown As It Happened, which is our dramatic podcast looking at what happened the night something very large and aggressive came out of New York Harbor 10 years ago when J.J. Abrams gave us the movie Cloverfield. This is a dramatic version of what else happened in New York that night, done by everybody in our family. It's really cool and a real labor of love. You can Google Manhattan Hammerdown and take a listen to it. You can follow me on Twitter if you'd like. I'm at PlatinumRoseLady at Twitter.com. You can also follow me on, you can look up my fanfic work at fanfiction.net. Go to the search engine, put in author and put Platinum Rose Lady, and you can find my stuff there. I hope you will take a look at that and look at all the favorites that I have. There's a lot of great Supernatural fic out there and a lot of other awesome fic too. You can check it out there. And, so this is Platinum Rose Lady signing off for another season. And, I hope everybody out there has an awesome summer. I hope you have, if you're out of school for the summer, have a great summer and be safe. And everybody, go to the movies and go swimming and go to amusement parks and have, fun and get tans if you do get tan. I don't tan. I go straight to burn. Watch Supernatural on DVD, write fanfic, have a great time. And this is Platinum Rose Lady signing off, reminding you to love the ones you hug the ones you love, and take some time to stop, smell the roses, and carry on.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.